Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I am Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively we are the Office Blokes, discovering Walter's World.
Walter's World.
Walter's World.
It's been ages since we did this channel.
To it.
No.
It's been so long that I forgot we'd done it.
I think
Yeah,
the
to be
last one we
honest.
did was it visiting San Antonio? Did we do that? Something like that?
I can't remember that.
I don't
Was it
remember
San
that.
Antonio?
We definitely did the do's and don'ts of visiting the USA.
Maybe
that was
Yeah.
Walter's
then.
World.
Maybe San
Was it?
Antonio just stuck in my mind.
He did the
Yeah.
one about truck stops.
Yeah.
And he was stood at, what was
Yeah.
the truck stop called?
Can't remember.
Because I remember loads of people in the comment section saying like, you know, he's going on about the food being great and it's a great place to stop, and everyone's like, it's a fucking truck stop, it's dirty.
Yeah.
It's horrible. But yeah, he makes good videos, and it's
Yeah.
been absolutely ages since we did it. So this is Walter's World. Visit England. 5 things you will love and hate about visiting England.
Only 5?
It's got to be more than that.
Well,
We'll
it could
see.
be 5 altogether. Is it 5 things we'll love and 5 things we'll hate, or is it just 5 things?
I would say
10 things
it should be
you'd love and
5
hate.
each, I'd say.
I
But
hope so.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Visit England. 5 things you will love and hate about visiting England from Walter's World.
Hi guys, Mark here with Walter's World. We're in London, England, outside the British Museum, and today we have the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting England. Now, I always like to get the bad news out of the way first, so we're going to go through the hates first. The first thing you're going to hate is the weather. Now, I'm actually here on a relatively only cloudy and only rained a little bit day, and let's so you know, it will rain when you're here. I'm here in June, and I've been wearing basically winter clothes most of my time here. Just know that be prepared for rain. Bring a jacket. You can always buy an umbrella here, these kind of things, but make sure you can layer your clothes to kind of fight the cold, because it doesn't get that cold in the winter, but it doesn't get that warm in the summer, but it's just the rain that happens that will kind of put a damper on your trip, so just be ready for that. I mean, there's a saying, the easiest job in the world is an English weather broadcaster, because it's always, oh, it's going to be rainy and cloudy, because it pretty much works that way every day, okay? The second thing you're not...
could I say, I think, did he have short hair last time we did it?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
why I've recognised the voice?
Didn't he have a beard?
I think he was
Yeah.
older. This looks like it may be a couple of years before the stuff that we saw.
I sort of recognised the voice, but I thought he didn't have hair like that. But that maybe yeah, he's got short hair, and he's got a beard or something.
He looks
On
like
the
the
last
guy.
one.
Looks like the guy from Tenacious D, not Jack Black, the other one.
The other one, yeah.
Kyle Gass.
I don't know, he's just known as the other one, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does rain a lot. Yeah.
I suppose it does.
Although
I mean,
I
you do
never
get
give a
good
shit
weather as
about.
well.
I never give
No.
a shit about the rain.
No, just
I never
is
give a
what it
shit
is,
about the weather.
We have a good mixture over here, don't we? Really?
Wear a t-shirt all year round.
Yeah, you do.
I was driving to pick up the kids the other day, and it was nice when I left here. Horrific rain and lightning storm as I was driving on the motorway, and then as I was pulling off to get the kids, the slip road was
Whoa, you want to just turn up and pick them up?
whoa there. But the slip road was up a hill directly towards the sun, and everything just cleared up, but everything was soaking
Yeah, the
with the
glare.
sun right in my eyes,
Yeah.
and the road soaking wet. And I couldn't see a thing, so I'm driving like that, and then lightning storm caught me up and started going again. And one of the only countries I know that can have, like, you need sun cream, and then there'll be a lightning storm, then it's hammering down and you need your coat, then it
Yeah.
snows, and that's all within half an hour.
The only month I really don't like is like January time.
Where it just
for
gets
the roads.
grey.
No, it's not the weather that bothers me. It's the fucking gritting on the road. They grit the road even if it's going to be raining, and then
Yeah.
your car gets proper fucking dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when they have to wash it twice a
Salt
week and
everywhere,
stuff.
don't
Yeah.
you? And it's all
Yeah.
white everywhere, isn't it? It's hideous. Yeah.
like about England is the travel delays and the price of transport around the country, because if you're going to be using trains to get around, it is extremely expensive. You're actually better off flying from London to Edinburgh, because the flights are to York or wherever, because the flights are actually cheaper than the train. And it's funny because you're like, oh, I'm just going to hop up to Chester for a little day trip. No, I mean, it's prohibitively expensive on the trains and in the public transport, so be ready for that, is that it is tough. And also, if you're traveling on Christmas Day or New Year's Day, the trains don't go, but it's just basically, it's expensive, and they do have a lot of delays when you go, so be ready for that. So if you're going to be going to your you know, the airport to get your train or your plane or whatever, make sure you give yourself some time in case my train is late. All right, so that's the second thing you're not.
I'm going to back him up on that. The rail network in this country
shit.
is fucking wank.
Yeah.
Innit?
Yeah, I get the train obviously
Yeah.
more than you guys, because I get the train into work
Yeah.
if I've had a beer or you know, if we're going to have a few beers or whatever. And like my bro and my dad came to me for a change the other Sunday, went to get the last train, got to the platform, pissing rain, and it just comes up, train cancelled. That's it.
It can do on that one,
And
can't
it's
it?
your last train of the evening.
Smash the train station up.
Hey.
Or would have proper
That's
go
not
radio.
ideal,
But I
is
wouldn't be
it?
there in the first place. Anyway,
Half
get a
11
taxi.
at night on a
Yeah,
Sunday
but it's
night.
probably cheaper for them to get a taxi home.
They did get a taxi, and there was some sort of deal, and it wasn't cheaper, but it worked out okay.
Yeah, but that train from your house to here, right, stops about fucking 400 times.
It's not bad.
Because it goes, doors closed, and then it goes, fucking stops again. You're like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's just really old
And places you never even heard
diesel
of.
engine, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one that goes up towards.
Oh, it is,
Stop
yeah.
at Lock, Stock, Growlham. I'm like,
That's
where?
where I used to live,
Yeah,
right
I'm
next
like,
to that
fucking where's
station.
that?
I think a lot of it is in the country. A lot of the rolling stock is pretty outdated, isn't it? That's the
Shit.
problem. It's
that.
not
Do you know-
good.
Do you know if I go to an away game on the train? So if I'm going to Arsenal away, right?
Yeah.
And I get the train down on the Saturday, do you know how much it costs me?
To go to Arsenal from here on
Yeah.
the train, a couple £100.
338 quid.
No way.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Isn't it? It's absolutely.
My fucking ticket
Jeez.
for the match is 30 quid.
That's a
And then
joke.
to go on the train's like 300 quid.
Unbelievable.
And they wonder why we don't. Oh, you can't drive. Don't drive because
Which
it's
is-
fucking pollution. And I'm like, well, what option do I have?
Yeah.
Which is a shame as a form of travel because we've been York and Scotland, a couple of times.
But
And
you book
actually
well
on the
in
train,
advance.
it's good, yeah, but well in advance, so it's a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
And the actual, train ride is actually quite a pleasant sort of thing, really. But like I say, sometimes if you're delayed and the cost of it sometimes is absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, there's rail works today in fucking Crewe, so we're gonna divert to fucking Huddersfield,
Yeah.
where you're gonna have to
Yeah.
change trains, then you're gonna have to change again in fucking Scunthorpe,
Yeah.
and then you're going via Dover to get to fucking Stoke.
Yeah, and the planning, I mean, a lot of the planning as well happens, which you've experienced, I think, before, is when there's big football matches
Yeah,
on,
massive events.
in the London or something like that, and no one can get home after it. It's like, come on, you must have known, like
A year in
forever.
advance, 2 years in advance. they
At
know.
least, when the
And then
matches
you-
are. But
Imagine cancelling the last train of the night with
Without a
no
bus service.
option
Yeah.
whatsoever to get home.
Yeah.
And that train isn't one that only goes 10 miles. That goes from Manchester to Chester.
Yeah.
So, you're talking a good, 50 miles or something, the
Yeah.
train track probably is. And it's like that's cancelled. Now what? What do you do? What if you can't afford a taxi?
But quick one while we're on transport, because we've obviously been paused for a while. The local tram network's pretty good, though.
Yeah,
That
Especially
is,
Manchester,
yeah.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good, that.
But that
when
was
you get stuck.
private.
You do have
fucking
some
level
delays
crossing.
sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Some
But
dip parks on the tracks.
in
and
general, that's
stuff.
pretty good, though, isn't it? I'd say that's a success.
Yeah, but that was private, wasn't it?
But he's bang on right here about
Sure.
he's bang on right about the National Network Rail. It's shite.
It's dog shit.
Yeah.
And they're all on strike anyway. So.
Yeah.
Knobs.
Now, the third thing you're not going to like, it's one of those British things. Hey, they drive on the left side of the road, so you got to be ready for that, because one of the things you want to do, and I'll talk about that later, so you want to drive around England. It is beautiful, seeing the villages, the districts, the lakes, and all this kind of stuff. It's fantastic, but you have to drive on the left side, the other side of the road. And this is one of the things that's kind of like a little annoying, but it can actually you can get hurt. I mean, I've seen people get hit by cars. Okay, so you got to be careful. Remember, they're driving on the other side of the road, and when you're walking across the street, look right, then left, then right again, and versus home, and you look left, right, left, because it is dangerous. And when you're walking on the street, you're used to seeing traffic coming the other way, and I've seen people stop out into the street almost getting hit by a bus. So be careful with that.
Just
So that's
look
one thing you're
both
not gonna
ways.
like. You're gonna have
There's
to
a
look
rule
the other
wherever
way,
you are.
all right?
So it's a highway code.
I'm going to give a dad's tip on this. All right.
Go on.
Left is right, and right is wrong.
Okay.
Let's see what you did there.
They're doing, like in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, part of the UK. They drive on the right. Sorry, on the left. In Southern Ireland, they drive on the left as well. But they're going to change it, so Southern Ireland's going to be changed with the EU laws. They're going to move to the right hand side of the road. So
Really?
yeah, but what they're going to do?
With no hard border as well, so you literally get to a border
No.
that doesn't exist, and you've got to go on to the other side
No,
of the
they're
road
testing
and
it.
carry on.
They're doing trucks and buses first, and if that works success, they're going to do cars.
What?
As well.
What is yeah. Thank God that's a bit of an old joke.
But I don't. Good on that. I want to know why people started driving on the right, because I'm sure driving on the left originated
In the
probably
Britain.
in Britain.
Yeah,
But
just
I don't know.
to be different.
just be different. Yeah,
It's weird, though, isn't it? I don't why. Wonder why.
I don't know. In New Jersey, you can't. Well, you can make left turns, but if you're on a main highway, you don't do a left turn. You do what you call a clover leaf or a jug handle. So you have to go in the right lane and then go round and then cross the road like that.
Wow.
Wow.
That thing of did they have it in the States as well? I saw it in Canada where is it people turning right can run red lights?
Yeah, you can turn right on red.
If there's no pedestrians going across, isn't it?
Yeah. That shocked me.
I did it in New York when I turned left on red and was with the guy in the car. He's like, "Fucking hell, what are you doing?" I went, "I'm turning." And he went, "No, you can't go left though."
Yeah.
I said, "What difference does it make?"
Yeah, how about
There's
red?
one way grid, so it doesn't matter whether you're turning right or left.
How about red just means stop?
Yeah.
How about we all just agree that red means stop?
Yeah, but if it says go.
Just be prepared, because I have seen a lot of people get hurt that way, and I want to make sure you guys are ready for that. The fifth thing you're not going to like about coming to England is it is pricey. Now, London is expensive, but once you get outside of London, it's not as expensive. I call it more pricey. So if you're looking, if you're comparing vacations, going to Portugal or Spain versus going to England, you can probably get an extra.
I think so.
2 weeks in Spain will cost about the same as 1 week in England because the prices are so high, because of the exchange rate and all kinds of stuff. So be prepared to spend a lot of money. So if you want to save money, go to places like the British Museum, which is free to go in. Find the free museums. Find the a nice place to stay that has a good good reputation, but near the center, so you can save money on transport. Because the tube is, if you do a single ticket, it costs almost $5. Okay, so it can be very expensive. So just be prepared for that, because it is pricey when you come here. So don't expect a cheap vacation, because London and England are not cheap. And the fifth thing you're not going to like about coming to England, which is not really a hate or annoyance or anything like that, just something I want you guys to know, is that in the U.S. we're kind of trained that everybody is kind of like a Downton Abbey person in England, and every English person is an Academy Award-winning actor, or these kind of things. Guys, England isn't, the people are fantastic, and I'll talk about that later, but you need to realize there are some safety issues when you do come here. If you're going to a pub and the football match is on, don't cheer for the other team, okay? Watch where you're going. It's more like, pay attention when you're going around, because not everyone is going to be that English friendly kind of stuff. The public service people are great, but when you're walking on the street, people are going to bump into you. They're not going to move their shoulders, these kind of things. That happens all over the island. So just be prepared for that. And so it's not really a hate, it's just you're expecting Downton Abbey, suave, sophisticated, and you don't necessarily get that when you're here. Okay, so those are the 5 things you're going to hate.
It's been raining for 3 weeks. If you bump my shoulder going down the street, you're going to get told off.
See, I also think that further north you go, that's more
people are friendly.
People are a lot more friendly than further north you come. Yeah. Just a sidetrack on that. I will be giving away a holiday to the UK on my other channel.
Ooh, wow!
Got to be over there to be in it.
Absolutely, in it to win it.
In it to win it. Holiday in Manchester.
Wow!
Yeah, I'll be giving away a holiday to Afghanistan on my channel. So.
You'll have to do that now you've said it.
People from wherever can come and visit the UK, but it's, I don't know. I wouldn't be put off by anything he's saying so far on the bad things that bring you to the UK. I think the UK is a great country to come and visit. I lived outside of the UK for 20 odd years, and it's when you come back, I just love being in the UK. It's a great place. People are great, very real.
There's just there's the things he was saying to be aware of, like safety, and you go into a pub and start supporting the rival team or whatever. That's kind of common sense, and I'm sure across the world,
a lot of things is called that, like crossing the road is common sense, looking the other way, isn't it?
Both ways,
I've just been to New York like a few months ago. I've never been there before, but straight away you pick up where the traffic's coming from. It's just a bit of common sense. That's
everywhere's got nice people. Everywhere's got a little area where it's a bit sketchy, and you've got to be careful. It's just
but I think watching a football match in a pub and supporting the opposite team, I don't think is that frowned upon.
No,
it's when you're at the game and you're supporting the other team.
I think probably depend. Some matches, it might be a bit.
I can go in a United pub tomorrow, not on the United pub that's right next to the ground. Let's say, for example, I go in a renowned United pub and be a Leeds fan and wear a Leeds shirt. I'll probably get people calling me names, and stuff. But the banter would be quite funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd get like fucking knifed. Some pubs I wouldn't go in anyway because you'd probably get knifed if I fucking.
Well, that's it. It's
just in a regular t-shirt.
It's going in the wrong pub. Behaving like that.
But you wouldn't go in them. Tourists wouldn't go in them pubs.
No, they wouldn't. You're right.
More on the city centres, and city centres in general are pretty good.
Yeah, village pubs are always.
Again, it's common sense. You can pick up by the ambience when you go in a pub. Can't by the characters in there. Just use your eyes. You think
it's like if you go to Brazil, you're not going to go in the favelas and fucking start watching the matches around with a fucking Argentina shirt
wearing a load of cash about.
You know what I mean? Exactly. You're not going to do it. Common sense tells you don't do it.
Yeah. No, you're right there. You're right, and I think a lot of pubs that could potentially be an issue, like close to stadiums. You look at the Trafford and the what do you call it, Bishop's Blaze next to Old Trafford. You need a match day ticket to get in.
Yeah, you do. Match days,
you can't just wander in on a match day. They don't want casuals who don't know what's going on.
No, I don't want away supporters. That's what they don't want.
Well, precisely.
Don't the away fans. That's what it is. We get designated when we go to away games. We get notifications from the supporters club. From the sports services, which pubs are designated away sports pubs, so we can only go in them. And even ones we used to go in, they didn't let us in last time. Like Newcastle, for example, we turned up at the regular pub we go in, and they went, "No more away fans in here."
Really?
Wow.
So I ended up going to a Chinese restaurant, sitting at the bar in a Chinese restaurant.
Wow.
Which, funny enough, was full of Newcastle fans.
Bizarre.
Wow.
coming to England? What are the things you're going to love? Because honestly, England's a great place to visit. A lot of people, when they say, what's the first, it's my first time to Europe, where should I go first? I say, you know what? If you want an easy trip, go to England, okay? Great infrastructure, great museums, all kinds of fantastic stuff. But what are my 5 favorite things? The 5 things I love and I think you're going to love about England. The first thing is you're going to love the Englishisms, okay? Watching the changing of the guard, the English humor, the people. I mean, the people are fantastic. I mean, I know I said that watch out for them, but honestly, if you're service people, all kinds of, they'll be so helpful. They'll give you great professional service, and it's fantastic. And all these English things that we learned about in school, you see that, the fish and chips and the corner pubs all around town and the villages and all these kind of things. It is really cool, and you enjoy these English kind of things. You make your mistakes using your American English instead of British English, all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, so that's the first thing you're gonna love is all the Englishisms that are out there. The second thing you're gonna love about coming to England is getting out of London. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I've been to London, so I've seen England. Guys, it's like saying you went to New York and you saw the US. It is completely different outside of London, and you really gotta go. Go see the villages. Yeah, rent a car. You have to rent a car. Go out, see the villages, see the districts, the Peak District, stuff like this. Go out there and see the country because it is beautiful. You'll just drive and get lost and see these fantastic small villages that you really will fall in love with. Find that corner pub that you can fall in love with when you're there, and it is great, okay? And that's just it. Get off the beaten track, go see the villages, go see the districts, all those kind of things, and you'll love it. I mean, that's how you fall in love with things. Rent a car and get out there. Now, the third thing you're going to love...
I'm going camping in the Peak District at the beginning of October.
Good luck with that one, mate. Good luck with that one.
Camping for 2 nights and hiking, going on like a 20k hike, I think it is, on one of the days.
We went up there on the first camping trips. We went up with the kids like years ago.
Oh, it's not the kids.
No, we were we went with the kids on the first times. I've put this tent up, took about 2 hours to put the frigging thing up, didn't it? But it's like March, and it's absolutely freezing at night. Yeah. It was absolutely no fun whatsoever.
This is going to be a 5-star hotel in Santorini in Greece.
It's more like it.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
I'll let bad mistakes.
It's not fucking 1853 anymore. Living in a tent in the woods.
Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying, Ed. And I think one thing to point out, if there are American viewers watching, which I know we do have a lot of American viewers, is if you do come to the USA, people if you come to the UK, yeah, people like the Americans when they come here.
Yeah,
they're very welcome. They're very warm. They get a very warm reception. Yeah. As proved when we spoke to some of the Americans at the match. We've done interviews with them, and they come in, they loved it. Yeah, one a bottle of champagne, the other one didn't drink, so he had a soft drink or whatever. But we give him a very warm welcome, letting him sit at our table with us.
I think the difference in sense of humour and banter could be a thing that's misconstrued a bit, because like I'm sure the guy who doesn't drink, there was some jokes made at his expense at the game.
But he got it though.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like people who maybe don't get that sense of humour may think, oh, people are being a bit weird. But actually, if we're taking the piss out of you, it's probably endearing. It's probably because we're getting on with you.
We've seen that many American comics, so there's a good crossover of comedy and banter and stuff like that. I think we're pretty close on that type of thing in general.
I think all tourists are very welcome. I think all tourists are very welcome into the UK, especially in the north of England. I would say I can't really comment about London, because London's full of wankers. But
well, everyone says it's better up north. It's more friendly up north. I think it's true. I think you're right.
It's true. Everything's bigger up north,
especially Manchester. Anyway.
Coming to England is the public transport. Now, I know I just kind of made fun of it because of the delays and the price, but honestly, the public transport here is fantastic. The trains, the buses, the subways, all these things, they go everywhere. You want to go to some little town? I want to go to Seven Oaks. They'll drop you off there. It's amazing. Everywhere you want to go, all the big cities and all the small towns, you can get there with public transport. Actually, there's a lot of connections, even with some of the stately manors and stuff like that. So the transportation network here and the overall tourist infrastructure of England is fantastic. They make it so easy to get around. And it's funny, they'll speak every English you can possibly imagine, whether you speak bad English, American English, or whatever. They'll understand and they'll help you out, and it's great. The fourth thing you're going to love about coming to England is the service. Guys, England has the best service, just Britain in general has the best service in Europe. A lot of American tourists will complain about service in Europe, but they don't complain about it in England because the service here is very professional and people will help you. You want to know where a tube stud is, you don't want to know where the local store is, where I can buy stamps, things like that. They're all over and they're going to be helpful. And that's one thing I love coming to England. I come here and I feel like, the customer is king again. And it's so nice. And you'll enjoy that service when you're not sure where you're supposed to go or you're lost. Go in any store, people will be helpful and tell you where you need to go. And it's one thing I really enjoy about coming here is the people actually are really nice and they're very helpful. And that translates into their service sector, which is fantastic. And
Not sure about that.
Yeah,
I think
like
it's
that.
I think it's patchy. Some places are really, really good.
Yeah.
But then some places aren't so good.
I think he's not just talking about, say, bars and restaurants.
No.
He's talking about you're lost, you walk into
general,
a local shop and say, how do I
shops and
get
stuff.
here?
Yeah, yeah.
Which I agree with him on that. Everyone you meet is going to say, oh, well, what you need to do is blah, blah, blah. People are helpful. The service industry, people are massively underpaid. And if you don't go to nicer places, you'll get shit service. Like he's obviously well-travelled, and I wouldn't mind betting he goes to... He doesn't just go to the local Wetherspoons, for example. No. I think he probably tries to get the culture wherever he's going and get slightly nicer places.
Maybe one of the problems is over here in the service sector, certainly in bars, restaurants and stuff, I think they do tend to pretty much get a flat wage, don't they? So no matter how good or bad they are.
If you take care of them as soon as you go in. I went to a comedy club the other night, and as soon as I walked in, I made sure they didn't take cash. So then all of a sudden you limit, and when you pay card, they don't add a tip on or anything.
No.
So first thing I did, first round, and it was little, and I give them some cash. And then next thing, bit busy at the bar. What can I get you? Right.
Yeah.
Your drinks are at the end of the bar. Pay me in a bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had that in a restaurant like a year ago where it was amazing service. And when I went to pay, they said it's card only. And then I got my card out and they just beeped it and walked off. And I was like, so I left a bit of cash on the table, but I wasn't sure if I was supposed to or not. But I was like, the service was amazing. I'd expect to.
Yeah, always take care of your service. If you do it early, then your service levels are going to be better as well. Don't wait to the end always. Just sort them out. So as soon as sort them out when you go in with a little bit, and then sort them out later with a better tip.
Took a £20 note in the bra as you're walking in.
That's a different type of place.
If he's wearing one, you're good, I suppose.
That's where I'm going tonight.
Boobs one, boobs two.
got me dollars.
Singles, pound coins.
Have a gun.
The thing you're going to love about coming to England is going to the pub, having your fish and chips, and enjoying the atmosphere of an English pub. I mean, this is one thing is I always have to do this no matter how touristy and silly it is. I go to a pub for lunch, I have my fish and chips, I have my warm beer, and yes, the beer is warm here, just so you know. Have a beer or 2 or 10, whatever.
He's drinking a Kronenberg. There's no way that.
There's no way that's going to be
warm.
No chance.
The only warm beer you're going to get is if you're drinking like a real ale.
Yeah.
Well, even then it's not warm.
Or an IPA or something.
They usually the temperature of the basement, aren't
the
they?
cellar.
If you're getting beer, if you're getting lagers, not these
cold,
days.
freezing cold.
Freezing cold these.
The difference is what you get when you go into the USA. You get a mug, you get a frosted mug, for example. So the mug's kept in the freezer. They wet them, put them in the freezer. When they take them out, it's a frosted mug.
Right.
And they serve it in there, and it's like, but
it's ice cold.
Yeah, but it goes it looks flat pretty quick a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Whereas if you drink a pint of Stella in the pub and it's at temperature of the basement or the cellar, which is still cold, the head goes all the way down to the bottom. It's a proper pint.
Which is how we like it, isn't it?
How we like it, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I went in the Witten Chimes the other day.
Oh,
with my brother and my dad.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
That's a proper pub,
I'm not going in there again.
I've
been in
where
before.
your mate was from?
My mate's the landlord.
Yeah,
I've been
that's
in.
right.
I've been in before a couple of years ago, and it wasn't that bad. And then I went in the other day, and it was like
it's a magnet.
The whole pub stinks of piss. It was like there's just an air of you're going to get stabbed at any point.
We were going to do a thing from there once, weren't we?
We were. Frosty reception from the staff. Like the whole thing was just like,
Was it?
no. And we had one quick pint. I went, let's get the fuck out.
But I've got protection in there big time because the landlord's one of my mates from being a kid.
The worst bit was the smell.
Yeah,
that was the main reason we wanted to get out.
And that was probably Adam.
He'll be delighted if he's watching this, won't he?
Yeah, sort it out. Get some air freshener.
Having your fish and chips, all these good things, because it really is a quintessential English tradition to go to the pub, have a drink or two, have your fish and chips, all these good things. Yes, or two, a Guinness, which is actually Irish. And I'm drinking a Kronenberg, which is actually French, because the beer here isn't really that good, so you're going to drink foreign beer when you're here.
French.
Is it French?
The beer here actually isn't very good, he just said. Did you hear that line?
I did hear it, yeah.
He literally got a pint of Guinness in his hand, which is a stabbable offence.
Yes, or two, a Guinness, which is actually Irish, and I'm drinking a Kronenberg, which is actually French, because the beer here isn't really that good, so you're going to drink foreign beer when you're here.
Got a fair point, no?
Oh, is he? So is he talking about English beers?
English beers,
like so,
isn't it?
Carling.
Yeah.
So he's right, actually. Carling.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink Carling.
Yeah.
Great Carling, it's one of the best drinks going.
No, it's not. Of
course
no,
it is.
No, he is right, because we all drink either Belgian or French or
I drink-
Irish.
yeah.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah, that's most of them I drink. But if there was only Carling left, I'd be fucking teetotal.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with Carling.
I'd probably drink whiskey or
Yeah,
something.
I drink whiskey.
I'd probably drink something else and milk.
Absolute pair of arseholes, really are.
Shite.
Drink like a creme de menthe instead.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That's more.
Fucking pint of champagne or something
Oh, fuck
in a
off.
pint pot.
It is pretty strong, Carling, though, isn't it? It's about 2%, is it? Like 2.2.
It is shit.
You can only drink about 24 of them before you start getting.
You know
pissed.
the shit because when the girls line them all up outside here, when they take them home,
There's nothing wrong with Carling. It's just prejudice, spare you. I'm sticking up
It
for
does
Britain.
taste pretty good. Okay, go there, drinking, eating, just taking in the whole thing, hearing the English people having their conversations, really feel like I'm part of the town. And if you go to the villages, like I talked about, you go to the local village pub, you really start to see and understand the culture and the people so much better. And it's a really fun thing to do. I mean, I love going to the pubs here and eating and drinking there, so you really shouldn't do that. That's why it's the fifth thing you're going to love about coming to England. So,
it's the way he looked over his shoulder when that guy walked behind him. Then did you
Thought
know
he was going to rob his camera.
Yeah, see what? I don't know if he got it.
I just love the people. Get back!
Just the way he glanced over his shoulder. Watch.
like I talked about, you go to the local village pub, you really start to see and understand the culture and the people so much better. And it's a really fun thing to do. I mean, I love going to the pubs here and eating and drinking there, so you really shouldn't do that. That's why it's the fifth thing you're going to love about coming to England. So, there you go. The 5 things you're going to love and hate about coming to England. And I hope that really helps you. We have the top 10 things you want to see in England, 5 things you love and hate about London, all kinds of great stuff at our website at waltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, and we really appreciate you guys.
That's
Yeah,
in there,
that's in
isn't
there,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. So he's quite young.
Yeah, isn't he?
There's a lot I agree with him on that, especially with the hates you don't like. And it's one of the things he mentions there a few times, and he enjoys it. And I'd always encourage people to do it. Is go to the local pub. And
Yeah.
go to the
Absolutely.
village, especially the village pub. Village pubs are great.
The one near
go.
me in Great Budworth.
Some of the
is
villages,
just-
the pubs are always nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
The villages
Yeah.
really, really are.
That
Yeah.
I was saying like a month or two ago, I went to that. I think it's the George, something like that in Great Budworth,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's where they film loads of period dramas, and it's the most picturesque little village just round the corner from me. And it is anyone who was within 100-mile radius should go to that pub.
What's the one that's on the? It's not the one that's on the corner of that with the traffic light. There's a massive beer garden with a massive car park next to it.
No, that's
what's that one
that's
called?
the Red Lion. That's Pickmere.
No, not Pickmere. Further down, almost near Delamere Forest area.
Oh, that's much further.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's much
right,
further.
right.
Great Budworth is near Marbury Park and Budworth
Right.
Mere and all that sort
Okay.
of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the pub is one of those that's been there for hundreds of years. It's all the exposed oak beams
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah.
like that. Beautiful food, great Guinness. I need to go
It's-
back.
But I think it's. I definitely encourage that for anyone that comes over to the UK to sort of like do the village towns. And he was very London centric there, which
I
is.
think so, yeah.
You know, even when he's showing pictures, he was showing like Stonehenge. You mentioned one of the towns to go to, Sevenoaks,
Yeah.
which is Kent. So it's all very southern sort of based, and I think that London is a great place, and the south,
like
the south
London.
is very good. And you move up to the
Yeah, of
Cotswolds
course.
and places like that, it gets even nicer. And then you move up to the north of England, where it's more like the working class sort of like environment.
But some great cities up here,
Oh,
isn't there?
it's fantastic cities.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's got everything up north as well, because you can go to the inner city, you can go to the middle of Manchester and have really beautiful food, proper posh places.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's got everything London's got to offer, just minus some of maybe the museums and
attitude.
architecture.
The attitude.
Well, yeah, we've got a nicer attitude up here. But then we've also got the more working class, sort of culture as
As
well.
I say, it's great. It's all doable as well, isn't it? Manchester and London. I mean, it's vast, isn't it? Which, to a certain extent, is good. But
Yeah.
love Manchester.
I'm out in Manchester on Friday night for Doug Stanhope.
Ah, really?
Yeah, been waiting for it for about 6 months. I bought my tickets ages ago. Yeah.
And then tonight at a show called Showgirls or something they call them.
Showgirls.
Something like
Gigolos.
that. No, Showgirls.
It's gigolos,
It's like
yeah,
strippers
gigolos.
and strippers and stuff like that, I think. That's what I'm hoping for
Nice.
anyway.
Better not be.
Show us your monkey.
Be leaving after 5 minutes if he's not.
Yeah. See you.
Yeah.
I'll see you in the bar.
Yeah, if you want to see what a Friday night finishing work and going to see Doug Stanhope is like, though, go and check out OB Dave and African Ash on YouTube.
Are you doing it live?
Nice.
No, we can't. You can't go live on YouTube. I think until you get a certain
you
amount
can.
of content. I don't think you can go straight away.
I don't know.
I've not checked, but I just always thought there was a barrier of entry for going live.
I know.
You know, maybe you need to be a certain amount of subs or a certain amount of views. We should know that.
Yeah,
really, being
should.
YouTubers.
Yeah.
But we don't.
No, we don't.
So get over there anyway. Follow that. And Office Bloke, what is it? OB Dave.
OB Dave and African Ash.
And learn all
Nice.
about Friday night in town.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. I hope you get some tips from us coming to the UK. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers,
Cheers.
guys.